Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 17 of the unofficial Rogue Company podcast, Broguecast. I'm here with KOTH.
Hey, Lord.
Here with Garbo.
And I'm here with Griffin.
And this is the Rogue Company podcast, bringing you all the news that you need to know about Rogue Company. So we're going to hit it hard right out of the gate here with the new Neochrome update. So the Neochrome update is the season 5, or they're calling it year 2, season 1. They're going to make this as confusing as humanly possible. Like legitimately. They should just call it season 5. They shouldn't call it year 2, season 1. Like, that's ridiculous. They should just call it season 5 and be done with it. But so with we got a lot of interesting things coming up for this first, the years are offset because they started the year 1 thing in February. So the year it doesn't start at, like, their fiscal year starts differently, you know what I mean, as far as like releasing content and everything. So it's kind of a weird situation as opposed from going from like January to December. It's going February to like the end of January. It is what it is. But we are getting some pretty cool stuff. They did do a PTS for this. Of course, nobody had a chance to play it except for specific content creators that had the ability to play it. So there's that, There is of course, a new battle pass that's going to be coming out. We've got some new skins. We've got new weapon wraps, emotes, the whole 9 yards. Everything looks really cool. If you want to see the stuff that's actually coming to the battle pass, go check out like Brad's video. Like, he did a full breakdown of everything that's coming to the battle pass. He did a really good recap on it. And he also, he personally feels like the chalk skin that you get at level 50 is like worth being at level 50. So if you go over there and if you check his video out, be sure to let him know what you think. I think that it looks cool, but that's just me. But we're going to get down into the meat and taters of the issue here, right? We're going to slather our Broguecast gravy all over this cube steak. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
All over.
So we're hitting it hard with the new ranked season. And we're going to go from top to bottom here. So the first new season of the year begins today, granting last season's rewards and unlocking new ones to earn. We have more updated for ranked detailed in our Project Saints section below. For those of you new to ranked, you must be account level 30 to participate. You must play in 10 qualifier matches to determine your rank division and tier. Each division has 5 tiers, and you have, of course, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond, and then rogue is the highest tier. Ranked points can be earned or lost by winning or losing matches. So, new rogue mastery content. This release, we are introducing rogue mastery rewards for mastery levels 6 and 7. Each of these levels will reward a themed animated avatar and an animated banner, respectively. Players who have earned these levels already will automatically receive them upon login. So I've seen some of the not the ranked rewards, but the new rogue mastery rewards that they're given, and they look kind of cool. I mean, it's cool that they're actually like finally fleshing out some of those empty levels that you have between 5 and 10,
Yeah.
So
it's nice.
Hopefully the people that have all the rogues mastered, their game won't just continuously crash whenever they log in when this update hits.
All the stuff they get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just like,
hopefully it doesn't do it every time.
Yeah, I know, right?
You got this.
Yeah, oh my God, could you imagine? We are getting a new map, so we just got glimpse, so they will not be releasing a new character for the Season 5 update, for the Year 2 update, whatever you want to call it. But they are releasing a new map called Meltdown. So the description for this is: deep in the Arctic Circle and embedded within a geothermal plant, a covert R&D facility succeeds in creating the world's first true artificial intelligence. Seeing a potential threat, Jackal sabotages the plant by disrupting the dormant volcano network it rests on and rigs the facility to self-destruct. The scale of such an explosion could create a catastrophic chain reaction unless Rogue Company can prevent the meltdown. So we're getting a new map. It looks cool. I mean, of course, we haven't played it, so
Breach with lava.
Yeah, it kind of has a breach feel with lava. I like how they're very much keeping a lot of the aesthetics in the same lane, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
some of those Paladins maps that they would release, like the art direction changed at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when the team left.
Yeah, right. So it didn't feel like as fluid or as natural, but I do like how they're keeping everything pretty well, similar for the most part. So the 2.1 LTM schedule, so this is going to be the limited time schedule that they have mapped out currently. It's definitely not going to be set in stone because they tried to put dodgeball in the game this past week and they had to they had to revert it a couple, like an hour or so later, back to Battle Zone because there was a quote unquote bug that wouldn't allow you to have a secondary weapon or something like that. I don't know.
Damn.
There was a lot of people.
Sucks.
Well, there was a lot of people bitching that they removed Battle Zone. So coincidence? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That sounds coincidental.
Yeah. So the LTM schedule as of right now, so 2.8 to 2.14, you're going to have the Meltdown experience, which is the latest map in a variety of different modes. I'm so glad that they're actually doing this.
Yeah.
I loved it when they did it for Wanted and when they did it for the Arena. And I think that it's cool. Like, I don't play Strikeout, right? I don't play, some of the other game modes very often or at all, really. But it is good to play those modes on a new map. That way you can get used to having gunfights in different areas of the map before you actually drop into a demolition. You know what I mean?
We learned Wanted pretty quick, man.
Yeah, I mean, we got on
Wanted a lot too.
Yeah,
we did a couple of days on that playlist, and we were like, okay.
Yeah,
Snipers is where I got it down.
Yeah,
when that limited time mode came out.
Yeah, so I'm very happy they're doing that, and I'm excited to hop on there and experience the LTM. I'm hoping that they'll put Meltdown in the custom game map selection when it's released, but I don't know if they'll end up doing that. I know that they've had issues in the past with that, but we'll see. From 2.15 to 3.1, they're going to have King of the Hill 6v6 as the limited time mode. So I'm sorry, Switch players, but you're going to have not only 6v6 team deathmatch that you're not going to be able to play, but the limited time mode is going to be 6v6 King of the Hill. So that just leaves you Strikeout, Demolition, and Ranked. So I'm sorry. It is what it is, man. I wish that they could figure something out with that. And then, of course, 3.2 through 3.7 is going to be Battle Zone. I have a feeling that they left it at 3.2 to 3.7. That will be the end of the update, right? That'll be the end of that first season, or that'll be the end of the Season 5 content, and it'll go into new content at that point. But I have a feeling that they'll probably keep Battle Zone in for another 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
God, that sounds so long.
Premier mode, dude.
Yeah.
Premier garbage.
Yeah, right.
Where are they on that one?
So this is the Project Saint stuff. They are working on a couple of really cool things with the Project Saint stuff here. But the very first thing that we're going to touch on could be, there could be several arguments for and against for it. So I'm going to hit it. I'm just going to hit the first topic here and we can discuss, right? So experimental feature, human backfill. Okay, this is something that we've talked about. We've talked about recently, actually, about how they had these plans to do the bots, and then the backfill feature would come into play in the future, and then it just never happened. Well, we're finally getting the backfill, which leaves a lot of questions to be asked. But I'll read this real quick. This feature is designed to allow players to join matches that are in progress, allowing players to save the day whenever matches have players who leave midway through a match. Players who join such matches will be rewarded the maximum amount of reputation and experience that could be achieved in the full match, ensuring that your time is rewarded. With this feature, we hope to address uneven matches that tend to happen with our players. That being said, this feature is experimental. We've worked diligently to build up this feature and to ensure quality. We are wanting to put it out into the wild under observation and in a controlled environment outside of our internal testing. What that will mean is that at the start of this update, human backfill will only be active for our casual demolition queue. We would like to rely on you, the players, to play in this queue and give us feedback on this feature. So, why demolition?
A separate queue?
No, it'll just be the demolition casual queue. They're just wanting more players to play the casual demolition queue so that they can get feedback on it.
Backfill, because a lot of people do leave, but normally, man, like when you think backfill, like COD multiplayer. How many times have you tried to join a game, you hop in a game where you're already losing?
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of figured it would be the respawn mode first.
Yeah, it's weird that they're putting it in demolition first, and I guess like that would be the most unbalanced.
Probably where people leave the most too. Like,
well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, but it's also the most unbalanced. Or let me take that back. It's also the mode that requires the most work to actually balance it out, right? Mm-hmm. Because most people are going to jump into Strikeout, King of the Hill Team Deathmatch. They don't give a fuck if they win or lose. They're just there to have fun, right? Whenever you play demolition and rank demolition specifically, then you want that experience of it being very well balanced on both sides to have a really good engaging experience, a really well balanced experience, while also, I guess having as much fun as possible.
Yeah.
But it's really weird that they're doing an experimental feature in demolition.
It is.
To me, Team Deathmatch seems like, because it's a 6v6 core mode right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to have problems bringing players into and out of matches, it would definitely be a 6v6 situation,
Yeah.
So it's very weird. And then this also leaves a lot of questions open to if someone crashes on your team. Like if you have some so if you have some type of system issue, let's say that your console or your PC crashes and you get kicked out of the game, of course, right? And then by the time you get it booted back up to join back into the match, it's already been backfilled.
Yeah, what's the time limit on that?
Exactly, right?
That's what I want to know because
good
when
question.
I get kicked, a lot of times I try to hurry as fast as I can because I'm like, maybe I can get back in.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But what I've noticed here lately is every time I do, I can't purchase anything else from the store.
Yeah, right.
The store will not open for me. Even when it switches around to the, pick a new character, I pick a character stuck with a pistol.
Right.
Sometimes it won't even let you back in the match.
I mean, all the ones we play where I got back in.
Yeah.
It happened several times where I just
there
got
was
stuck.
A time I got kicked out and it wouldn't let me back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll put me on the home screen, shows that I'm in the party.
Yeah.
And then when they get out of the game, penalty.
Yeah, exactly, right.
It's like, but I joined back as fast as possible.
How's it not being able to tell when it's a lag out and when somebody's actually logging out?
There needs to be a set time limit.
Well, there should be a way that they should
only wait so long, and then it's like, okay, they're gone.
Yeah.
Well, they need to have something to detect, like when people are actually logging out of their game and when the game's actually causing them to lag out. Because it's not fair to players that lag out and then they get a penalty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no XP, no nothing. I played the whole game.
Because it claims that they left the game, but that's not the case. The game itself was too much or not good enough, and it kicked them out.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and like they're really going to have to focus a lot of attention on this human backfill feature because, like Adam said, if your game's crashing and you actually do get back in and you can't purchase anything, then who the hell's going to want to do the backfill system if you come?
If that happens to them, yeah,
exactly.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Who's going to want to run around with their pistol the rest of the game?
Yeah, I mean, Dirt Lords had to do it several times, right?
And we still won.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so, and then also, like, on top of that, like, you shouldn't penalize people when they try to rejoin the match and they can't because it's been backfilled. There shouldn't be, like, if they're going to introduce this human backfill and it's going to be successful and they're going to introduce it to all the casual modes, they've already said at one point that it's not going to be in ranked. And I'm going to hold them to that because it technically shouldn't be in ranked, right? They should get rid of the penalties then. Except for ranked, if they're going to introduce the backfill feature. And then there's a lot of other questions too. It's like, let's say us four, we're playing, right? Let's say I drop out and I'm playing with Mac, right? Does that mean that the person that backfills my position is going to be playing with Mac?
Well, they should come in and have everything you had.
Exactly. Or is it
shouldn't have to start from scratch?
Yeah. Or is it going to reset, allow them to pick a character? Because if they join during midway through the round, it's not going to let them, fly the plane or anything. They're going to have to hold until the next round.
Yeah, you'll have to wait.
Yeah, so are they going to let them pick their rogue and then give them money equivalent to what they would be up to at that point?
They should.
See, there's too many questions here.
And not enough answers in this description, that's for sure.
No, I mean, they're basically saying it's an experimental feature that may or may not be in the game long term. They don't know, and they don't give us any details like, you need our feedback, but what feedback specifically do you need? Because if I join into a game mid-match and I'm able to purchase, pick my character and purchase stuff, is that acting the way that it's intended to act?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to give feedback on this if I don't know how it's supposed to act to begin with? And there hasn't been a This Week in Rogue Company since, I believe, December the 3rd, right?
Yeah.
There needs to be one specifically around this backfill system that explains how it's going to work, what to expect whenever you actually drop into the game and backfill someone, and how this is going to play out. That there has to be more explanation. They half-ass everything as far as explanations.
Everything, dude.
Yeah, it's
They
insane.
don't know how long. Like, when I get kicked from the game, how long before it's like, we're not going to let you back in?
They don't even know,
Well,
dude.
because right now I know there's no timer because, dude, sometimes it might take 2 minutes. I'm back in.
Yeah.
3 minutes, I'm back in. 4 minutes, I'm back in.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
1 minute, and it won't let me in. And it's like, well, what do we go by?
Exactly. Right.
They don't know, dude.
I'm very interested to test this out and actually see how this is going to work, because it's going to be feedback from our perspective of someone dropping, because not all the time, but there's several times where we're playing as a 3-man or a 2-man or whatever, and then almost every single game that we're not all playing together, that other person or other 2 people will just leave at some point. And it's a 2v4, 3v4, which we've gotten pretty good at winning 3v4s and 2v4s, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I guess it's making us better, but still though, we'll be able to give feedback from our point of view, because I think if you're going to be queuing with more than just yourself, it's probably not going to prioritize a backfill situation.
No.
And if it does, then who the hell wants to join into a match that's well,
just imagine we backfill 3 of us queue, and it puts us in the game where we had that fixer. It was just him.
Yeah, right.
Stuck around in it. When we just pop in, it's the last round.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Okay.
Well, and then you have to look at it this way. So let's say that an entire team leaves except for one person. 3 of us are queuing together. It backfills. We turn it around and bring it back. We're going to get reported for cheating. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to get reported. So it's going to make the community so much more toxic than it already is, Because if I join a match midway through and we're losing, then what's stopping me from leaving it and letting somebody else backfill it?
Yeah, just taking the penalty.
It goes continuous backfill. Ugh.
Exactly. It's going to snowball into more toxicity within the community, in my opinion.
I don't think it'll last long, Dan.
I don't think it will. One of the next big changes for the Project Saint, we have the Battle Pass progression. So one major change that we're introducing in this patch is the ability to purchase Battle Pass levels with your hard-earned reputation. We hope this allows you, the players, the ability to engage and progress across our Battle Passes going forward. So one thing that they don't include in any of these notes is the fact that they're introducing ads into the game. Yeah.
Yeah, you see why they're doing that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Which is, I think, why, because I was like, oh, ads is going to be right under that. Nope.
Yeah, right. So the way the ad system, according to Pretty Hair on the Neochrome update live stream that they did, was you'll be able to opt in or opt out, but if you watch an ad while you're queuing for a match or whatever, you're going to gain reputation for watching those ads, right? The game already has stability issues. My frame rate in the lobby itself, queuing into a match, drops like crazy. I don't know why. It's like I'm watching a claymation movie whenever someone's emoting. It's absolutely insane. And then we've got the hitching issue, which we'll get into later. We've got server stability. We've got matchmaking issues. We've got all this other stuff. This is just going to add more This is going to add more that's going to bog your system down.
Well, it's over here trying to queue, retrying.
Yeah,
Third time's a
right.
charm. But
Yeah.
somebody's watching an ad that's not finished, so we gotta wait for that to be done.
Yeah, right.
But
Exactly.
Why
You
is
know.
that even being put into the game?
Money,
What other game has ads besides
mobile games,
That's what I was going to say. I was
mobile
going to say
free
besides.
games.
Well, I was going to, but Rogue is not a mobile game.
Well, they're working on it.
Yeah, it will be soon.
Well, then it should only be on the mobile games.
I mean,
don't feel
I'd
like
be
it should
happy to
on
watch some ads for
consoles.
some free reputation. I'm gonna buy every one of those goddamn skins.
Yeah, right.
It just doesn't match the formula.
But
Of,
how
like,
long is it
Xbox,
until someone
PCs, and-
comes up with a thing on Reddit to where they're like, "Yo, you could just run it and ads just keep going," and
You can farm it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I know. It'll happen, dude. Inevitably,
oh yeah,
it'll
somebody
happen.
figure that out.
Yeah, and within the first week, they'll have enough reputation to max the battle pass out and everything else that they want. You know what I mean? It's funny that they didn't put the ad information in the PTS notes whatsoever. I don't even know if the ads were in the PTS. I have a feeling that they probably weren't since it was a test server, but it's already bogged down. There's already just rampant issues. Like, I could realistically see us loading into a match, playing Demolition, and then for some reason a fucking ad triggers while you're in the middle of a gunfight.
Oh God!
How pissed are you gonna be?
And you could hear it,
and see
possibly see it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Why though? You see what I'm saying?
money.
It just doesn't match the. Oh God. Whatever.
costs a lot of money to make games, man. $100,000
I'm happy that's all they think about.
make skins and stuff.
Well, they've introduced things like this in the past. You see it a lot with sports games, racing games, things like that, because they actually have a place to put advertisements within those games and kind of get away with it, right?
Oh yeah, because they have like billboards and like TV, like little TV advertisement. Rogue Company doesn't have any of that.
Well, but they could,
Arena's
though.
just gonna be covered with them, dude.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola,
I'm
you know.
telling you, this is not gonna go well.
I'm
Well,
like,
I
I
don't
don't
care
think
what they
Doc's a
think.
Coca-Cola man, you know.
I think a better way for them to do the advertising, in my personal opinion, they should just up the base amount that you get for reputation all across the board to every character or to every player. And they should, like, you have Vice, for example. Whenever you're in Vice, those buildings have advertisements all over them, but it's all for it's fictional stuff. They could go in there and put stuff like there's a giant billboard on Vice with Lancer's face on it. I don't even want to see that bitch in the game, much less a giant billboard of her. So why can't we get the advertisement right there? And here's another thing too, like, you could actually put the advertisements in the levels like that, especially if they make sense, and it be something like, oh, scan this QR code real quick and you get like 30% off of a purchase from this specific. Like, they could have found a really
That makes
cool
more sense.
Yeah, they could have put a really cool, interesting way to actually incorporate these ads into it. But they're putting a pop-up system. I'm guessing is what it's going to be.
Maximize profit, yeah.
Dude.
And then if you accidentally click on it, then what's it going to do? Is it going to pull your browser up and take you to the website? I don't want Chrome open while I'm trying to play a game.
No.
I'm going to have to install more RAM.
I don't want to restart.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that it's a good thing that they're actually making the Battle Pass progression purchasable with the reputation, because that's kind of like their well-rounded currency for pretty much everything that they do. But with them putting the ads in there, it's very weird. It's very odd, you know?
Yeah, I agree with the
Not a good
reputation
look.
thing, because I mean they didn't have a lot of reputation stuff to spend their reputation points on, and they're very pick and choosy about what they wanted to apply the reputation on. But the ad, I agree with your style. I'm telling you, if I'm in the middle of fucking in a game and a goddamn ad pops up while I'm shooting a motherfucker, and that's the reason I go down, I probably will uninstall Rogue Company real fast.
Ranked queue. For our ranked players, we are wanting to expand their competitive palette by adding some more of our great game modes into the queue. This means that now, in ranked, players can play competitive King of the Hill alongside Demolition. All modes will be housed in one queue, and your performance and all will contribute to your ranking. We are looking forward to receiving your feedback on this update.
So how are they going to accommodate that? What if you play both game modes?
Well, it's gonna force you to play both.
What it sounds
Is it?
like.
Yeah.
You don't have
Is
a
it-
choice.
Yeah. So it's going to be the same on. Oh, so when you pick rank, it's just going to
Yeah.
pick whichever one. Oh, that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
I mean, I'm willing to try out the respawn ranked mode, but I don't want to have to do it every
I
time.
don't want to have to do it, but yeah, my own
Yeah.
force. I want to be
Well,
able to
pick.
choose it. Yes.
Well, this goes back to the fireside chat when they were talking about the ranked stuff. So people that play ranked modes are very passionate about getting more ranked rewards into ranked, right? And then the community manager herself said the return on investment doesn't make sense for that. If we had more people that were actually queuing for ranked modes, then there would be more incentive from the developers to actually put those rewards into the game. I think that, like, I'm going to say 80 to 90% of the player base is going to be playing respawn casual modes anyway, right? It makes sense that they're going with King of the Hill right out of the gate to try to pull more people into ranked, but I think that there's going to be this gigantic separation where you're going to have people that are queuing that really like King of the Hill and that really want to play King of the Hill ranked, that cared nothing about demolition, and vice versa, right? So are you really fixing the problem by including King of the Hill into ranked, or are you going to make the problem worse to where people are just going to queue for the game mode that they want to play? It's kind of a weird situation, right?
What if they queue in, they get demolition, and they're like, I won't play this, then they leave?
Or they throw.
Yeah. Wait a little bit, come back.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't tell you the algorithm that they're going to be using. It's like, you would think that if you played 10 ranked matches, 5 of them would be demolition, 5 of them would be King of the Hill, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't tell you if it's a 50-50% chance that that's going to happen. I mean, obviously it is going to be a 50-50 chance, but like, if it's going to connect me to someone that I'm, closely ranked with and I'm going to be closely ranked playing against, then you can't take all that information into account whenever you're actually building out that playlist. Like if 7 of the 8 people that are queuing have played Demolition the game before, and the other person just played King of the Hill, is it going to put everybody in a King of the Hill? Like, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really weird, man. It doesn't make, like, there should be a switch. You should be able to go in there and say, I want to play King of the Hill. I don't want to play King of the Hill. I want to play Demolition. I don't want to play Demolition.
Yeah.
I think it's going to make it worse.
It's nice to offer different ranked options, but just forcing people to play a mode that they most likely don't want to play is not a good idea.
Yeah. The play style is completely different.
Much different.
Oh,
If
yeah.
someone plays, King of the Hill constantly, and when they get into Demolition, they're going to get screwed pretty quickly.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Because they're going to be rushing and they're just going to get out, and it's going to take them that entire span of the game to figure out that, like, oh, I only have 1 life, I don't need to be so aggressive. Then that's going to promote more toxicity within the community, because if you're playing with people that play Demolition and you're feeding because you don't really know how the mechanics of Demolition actually works, then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, they're really not thinking a lot of this stuff through, in my opinion. And like King of the Hill, like I said, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense that that's in there over Strikeout and definitely over Team Deathmatch. But I feel like a lot of this has to do with CMG stuff as well, because they go back and forth between Demolition and King of the Hill whenever they do their tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they feel that if they put King of the Hill in ranked, then that's going to have more people interested in joining the CMG stuff and trying out. Next up, maps aplenty. So back in the 0.66 update, which I believe was the Umbra update, we tailored our map selection in each queue in an effort to maximize a game mode's performance on a per map basis. Since then, we've received plenty of feedback from the community about this change, and we want you to know that you have been heard. In this update, we are adding back all of our maps to our Team Deathmatch, Strikeout, and Demolition queues. We hope you enjoy this change, and we look forward to your feedback. So this was something that they didn't even announce. And we covered this on the last Broguecast whenever we were doing the fireside chat stuff. Like, They didn't give the information to the community manager. She didn't think to tweet it out after the fact. You know, there wasn't an official like Rogue Company Twitter post that went out that said, hey, just so everybody knows in this update, we remove some of the maps from some of the different queues to try to, you know, maximize, you know, game mode's performance and all this kind of stuff. Nothing. People just started raising hell, which they should have because they had no idea what the hell was going on. But they're bringing them all back, and I'm fine with that because each map plays different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I miss, and it's weird. It's going to sound fucking
Glacier.
terrible. I miss Glacier, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I miss it.
That's the one I think of because we haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
And it was
For a
like, well, this is
long time.
weird. Why do we keep playing the same maps over and over? And it's like, oh, they took them out.
They've been disabled so long that I have people commenting on my videos asking what map this is.
Damn.
I had a
And
video.
they're like, put it back in the game. And you're like, I can't.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we've got some gameplay HUD improvements. So there's some really cool things that's going to be happening with the HUD, the UI, and everything like that. So health bar improvements. Previously, we improved the armor feedback, and with this update, we've updated the visual style of our health bars to give players more clarity between HP and armor and engagements. So as you can see here, it's not going to be square anymore. It's going to look like this, and then they've actually added an armor bar above the actual health bar. So of course, this is going to play in specifically for Battlezone and 90% of the use cases. But for people that have Headstrong or Mac, you know, Mac's the only character, or Dahlia, I guess, if she links to Mac, you're actually going to have that armor display above the health bar. And I think that this is a really, really good change. And to be honest, this is a change that needs to happen with rogues that have abilities or passive abilities where they get increased HP. Because you have blue, purple, gold, and orange, right? They could put a green one in there to signify Vi's passive ability for Umbra's passive ability. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because you never, like, you see it whenever you're looking at them that they've got a little green sliver. You don't know what that means. You don't know how much health that is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it could be one hit or it could be 3 hits, depending on the weapon and the range and all this kind of stuff. So I think that they should add the, you know, bonus HP to this. But I do like the way this looks, and it makes more sense because we were playing Battlezone last night. Whenever you look at it, you have 125 health, and it says 125 on the side right there. When you pick armor up, it goes all the way up to 225. 225 over 125. It doesn't, from a person that is just downloading the game and jumps into Battlezone, it makes absolutely no sense how much health you actually have.
Right.
It's something that should have been done a while back. And whenever we were doing the PTS stuff for the Battlezone stuff, I was just like, this is very confusing. Like, even for me, and I've been playing the game for a little while, you know?
Yeah.
The next one I really, really, really like. So the Gadget HUD improvement. In this update, we've expanded our HUD to better show players both gadget slots to improve their ability to track what gadgets they have in their 2 slots. Additionally, we've added the keybind prompt for swapping in the HUD. So at the bottom of the screen, you're going to have your on-hand and off-hand gadgets, which is like, I recently cut on auto pickup. I cut it back on, right?
Yeah.
I do wish that you could go in and customize the features a little bit because I don't want to pick up melee weapons whenever I'm trying to swap from a primary and I got a fucking sword out. Like, that's the last thing I need. But anyway, but it's good to know that, like, you know, whenever I start into a game of Demolition, especially casual, I'm buying the weapon and then I'm going to buy like a grenade or C4 or whatever, right? Or flashbang. It just depends on what we're doing. But it is nice to know that, like, now I've got this like Simtex in hand, and if I run over somebody, I'll see the little pop-up that I actually auto picked up like a flashbang, but now I'll actually be able to physically see what's in that offhand slot.
Yeah.
That's going to be massive. Yeah. And see,
how many times have you been like, I thought I had my C4, but
yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. And I'm glad that they're putting the button prompts on there as well, the key binding, because like we literally played the game for 6 to 9 months and didn't have any clue how to swap between your gadgets.
Yeah, I didn't even know you could do it.
I
Yeah,
had no idea.
We just thought you couldn't.
yeah, exactly. So it's nice that they're because I guarantee you there's a ton of people out there that probably have no idea that you can even do that right now, you know? But that is the Project Saint changes. A lot of this stuff I like. The rank stuff is kind of iffy. The human backfill, but the UI improvements is the biggest W in my opinion here. And of course, adding the maps back into the game. So I'm excited to play some of these maps on Demolition we haven't played in like what feels like ever.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
Umbra came out with the Battle Zone update. I think that update came out November?
Yeah.
So
Maybe in October. It's been
maybe
a
at the
minute.
ass end.
Yeah. So I'm glad there's several maps that I have missed and I'm excited. It sucks playing Breach and Hollows and fucking Palace round after round after
Over and
round.
over and over and over. Yeah, dude.
Constantly, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
'Cause that's really all it's been is just those maps over and over. And it just gets tiresome, man. I'm
Yeah,
ready to.
I mean, if we're over here talking about missing Glacier,
I was
yeah.
about to say the same
it did
thing.
grow on me.
Yeah.
Since they've changed that window. And once you kind of learn the layout,
Yeah. And know the
enjoy it.
rotations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So next up, we do have a couple of rogue changes here. So Ronin, she is going to have Nimble Hands replaced with Bounce Back. And her ballistic,
Oh.
yeah, right. Her ballistic knife explosive radius has been increased from 3 to 3.5 meters. I'm happy they're finally giving Ronin some perk that increases her survivability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is nice.
She is like in my opinion, she's one of the best, most well-rounded rogues, but her perk set is a little bit less favorable than some of the other characters' perk sets. And it's nice to see that they're actually, I have a feeling that Nimble Hands is going to either get replaced or reworked into something else in the future.
Yeah.
Kestrel, her Halo drone damage has been increased from 60 to 75.
Oof.
All that armor.
Yeah, so, and that's the only reason that I could come up with for them to ever
dude.
make this change.
150 damage for
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, so
Jesus.
with the 60 damage, you're doing 120 damage to one specific target. That means if you're going against a Mac, it's not enough to down them in 2 hits. You're going to have 3 hits. With 75, it's going to be able to down Mac or anybody with up to a certain armor set, which would be, it would actually be in Battle Zone, Headstrong plus your base health, because it's 125 plus 25. So you're going to be able to 2-hit someone with the Halo drones in Battle Zone if they have just Headstrong armor. You're going to be able to kill yourself faster too.
Yeah.
So there's that.
that.
Yeah. So that's a thing, you know?
I'm not going to be ready for that.
Yeah.
Because once that first initial one hits, man, it's already hurting you, dude. Like, I mean, you ain't going to have enough time to even think about the second one.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair for her Halo drones, like once you hear it and once you get hit with one of them, you try to get out of dodge as quickly as
Oh my
possible.
God.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
You better.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ain't true.
So
Why are you
As
still
soon as I
sitting there?
hear that bitch go fly, you know,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
she says, I'm like, I'm out of here.
yeah. So for Trench, the barbed wire is going to be getting some changes here. So previously it ticked 4 times per second at 5 damage. Now it's going to tick 3 times per second at 7 damage. So within a span of 1 second, you're going to be doing 1 more damage. And to me, this change really doesn't make as much sense, in my opinion, as the Kestrel change and definitely the Ronin changes, because like you're going to be doing 1 extra damage. So it's going to tick three times per second. So that means every 0.33 seconds it's going to tick, as opposed to every 0.25 seconds.
And
But-
that shit's rough when you get in it, dude.
Well, exactly. So you're
It
going
can
to,
fuck you up real fast.
yeah. And
And it's the slowdown time? Jeez, man.
that's exactly what I was fixing to say. Now, Trench feels like a very, very, very good character now, since they actually have the barbed wire damaging people, right?
Yeah.
I feel like since it's doing damage now and it's actually going to be doing more damage, then they should reduce the movement penalty while you're actually inside of the barbed wire a little bit.
Yeah, dude, it's like being stunned.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
Yeah.
especially with like if you're behind cover and you can throw it just right, you can actually hit people not only behind cover but through walls sometimes.
Yeah.
And like you're at the edge of it at that point, but you're still like by the time it deploys and it starts doing tick damage, you've already lost half of your health almost.
Yeah. And you're getting pushed.
Yeah, exactly.
Hard.
Yeah. So I would like to see that movement speed penalty reduced just a little bit. And that I think that would help out a ton in my opinion. So for gadgets, the C4 changes are happening once again. This is the gadget that I feel like has been messed with just as much as the KA30, if not more. So the base damage has been increased from 100 to 125. The minimum damage at the edges of the explosion has been increased from 40 to 70. And the C4 second upgrade damage has been increased from 175 to 200 damage. I feel,
Wow.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like a lot of this stuff is coming in because they actually changed the C4 up on the last update because of the Battlezone stuff. They lowered the price in Battlezone. They made it a little bit more effective and all this kind of stuff. I feel like that this is happening, but also the C4 doesn't act like it used to act.
Not at all.
Used to, you could throw it quicker, you could detonate it quicker. Now, if you see the C4 flying, you have enough time to react. If the person's fast enough, they may be able to trigger the explosion. Yeah, or shoot it while it's in the air, but it's still only going to do that minimum damage. So I think the increase in the minimum damage on the edges of it from 40 to 70 makes sense. Maybe not that much of an increase, maybe 60 or 55, but it makes sense. Like to me, it feels like they've tweaked it so much that the C4 kind of lost its original identity.
Yeah.
Now it's something else. And like it feels like you get more benefits out of baiting people with the C4 planted somewhere as opposed to using it as an offensive gadget. Because like, remember when they took the trip mines away from Saint and gave him the C4? He was a pushing powerhouse with that.
He was.
Yeah. And then they started tweaking it, and that's when they started making all the changes to it where it's more floaty, it's less floaty, it falls faster, it can be shot in air easier. Like they've done so much shit. You know what I mean?
When you look at that, man, and they're giving it that kind of damage, and it's all for the armor. So we're changing all these weapons and stuff for the armor in Battlezone.
Right.
But the changes still apply to demolition.
Yeah.
Right. Agreed.
Are we going to get armor in demolition?
Probably not.
Are we going to get armor in these other games?
Well,
just curious.
Here's what I would like to say about that. So Queen Noxo, I was watching her stream the other day, and she said something that was very interesting that I'd never thought about. She said that a lot of the people that enjoy playing Battlezone because it's more like the original time to kill of the game over the other game modes that are in the game, right?
No. I don't feel that.
Well, if you put in the health regeneration, so
TTK,
so just imagine Battlezone with health regeneration. The time to kill for Battlezone currently right now would be the same as when the game launched. And a lot of people enjoy playing that game mode because of that. So to me, it feels like they may be transitioning into like multiple upgrade paths for like Headstrong or something.
Yeah.
At some point, I don't know. And I think that they could do something really interesting to where they put certain sets of armor on the map that you kind of fight over in demolition and respawn modes. I don't know how much that they're going to incorporate that stuff into it, but you're right. Why are they making all these changes specifically for the armor for a limited time mode that's going to be going away?
Yeah.
Supposedly.
But even if it stays, we're talking about the core modes over here, right? And you got this fucking C4 doing 200 damage?
Yeah, right.
Base.
So it's very weird that they're doing this. And we saw in the Glimpse update, like they went in and made a ton of changes to the weapons, specifically in Battlezone. So with them making these changes to the C4 globally across all game modes, there must be something more going on here.
Makes you wonder.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like because remember when they were gearing up to do the TTK changes, they made a lot of changes to a lot. Like they went in and reduced all the explosive damage. Pre TTK, they said that the gadget spam was getting out of hand, so they went in and reduced all the explosive damage. They, made some of the explosion radiuses smaller. They
Now
made
it's going back up.
Yeah, exactly. They're
All
pivoting
for a limited time mode.
Yeah, right. So it seems like they're gearing
not
up
in
for
rank.
something. Yeah. So for the weapons here, the SLC, they're increasing the headshot damage from 17 to 18. The objection, this is going to be a huge one, and a lot of people are saying that this is going to be the next weapon that Lancer mains are going to run over the arbitrator, the objection. So the clip size has been increased from 30 to 40, and the body shot damage has been increased from 11 to 12. I've got a lot to say about that. I'll say it in a minute. The Mark IV, the Mark IV headshot damage has been increased from 30 to 32. The Riptide headshot damage has been increased from 26 to 28, and the MXR damage has been increased. The MXR has reduced max reticle bloom. So, like, we'll start at the top. SLC headshot damage, you're getting one extra, which makes the time to kill a little bit faster. Yeah.
Yep.
The objection is the biggest thing here, of course, because the clip size going from 30 to 40 and the body shot damage going from 11 to 12 is massive changes. It seems like they should have.
Fire rate's nutty, man.
Yeah. It seems to me like they should have just made one or the other change and not both of them at the same time.
I would prefer the clip size.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I would go with over the other one.
The only thing that really balances the objection out currently in the game is the range of the weapon.
Yeah.
Right?
You ain't got none of that.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing like 7 to 9 damage at any
throwing rocks at them.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But with this clip increase, like you can pretty much full clip someone at a range and you'll be able to down them. Plus, that's going to make the damage fall off numbers go up just a little bit because of the actual body shot damage increasing by 1. So they have to take into account a lot of these changes for SMGs and shotguns, specifically around one character.
Yes.
And I feel like this is going to be like, we're going to see a lot of objections coming out in the future.
Soon.
Yeah.
And it's been a while, man. Like, remember when they first dropped her with the gun?
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like, damn, this gun slaps. And then it was like, oh, not anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I just don't really like using it. I might use it again.
Yeah, right. But it is nice to see that the Mark IV Riptide and of course the MXR is getting a little bit of love here. So I'm excited. Like the Mark IV and the Riptide have not been able, in my opinion, and this isn't like personal preference. This is just based off the numbers alone. It can't hang with the Sahara and the Hydra or the HRM. You know what I mean? And it's nice to see that they're getting some love to try to bring them in line with those weapons, since the baseline weapon seems to be the KA-30, the Sahara specifically. Sometimes the Hydra will get picked, sometimes the HRM-30. So, and then game modes. So I think these game modes, well, this is all ranked changes for the game modes. So we're going back. We're going to hit rank 3 different times in this whole thing, but this is, yeah, exactly. So these are the game mode changes for ranked. So the revive cash reward has been increased from 500 to 1,000, and the suicide cash penalty has been increased from 500 to 1,250. Didn't know there was a penalty for killing yourself, but apparently there is. Yeah. So demolition.
If you kill yourself, you lose.
Yeah, 1250 whenever
I
the
didn't
update.
know.
Yeah, I didn't know.
That was a thing.
I didn't either. It's
only in ranked?
No, I think it's all across the board.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good to know.
Yeah, for sure, right? So for demolition ranked, they are reducing the round win total. It's going from 8 to 7, so it's basically going to be what it was when the game launched. Again, here we go. And because of this, they had to go in and, of course, readjust all the cash values that you earned. So it's basically reverting everything back to the way that the game was when it was launched. It's going to, whenever you win the round, you're going to get 7K instead of 6.5. Whenever you lose the round, you're going to get 6.5 instead of 5.5. They're not changing the price of any of the weapons or anything as of yet, but that's what we're doing.
I just figured it out. And now here we are again. Like,
Yeah,
There and back again.
damn, I just got used to it.
I know, right? So the big changes, in my opinion, are the King of the Hill changes. So it's going to be changing to a single round. Instead of it being round based, it's just going to be one 10-minute long round. The score, the score to win is going to be 250. The hill's going to rotate every 60 seconds. I think currently, whenever you play King of the Hill, it's every 30 or 45 seconds that it moves.
Yeah.
There's going to be 2 more additional hill locations added on each of the maps, and they up the down cash from 500 to 1,000.
Wow.
This is probably because of I've played Team Deathmatch more because it's just one and done.
Yeah.
You reach a score, it's over.
Right.
I wonder if that's why they're like that seems to work better.
Well, it's weird that
when I play this game, you play one, you got to win 2, right?
Used to.
Yeah.
Because they're
Yeah.
talking about
You got to
it's
win
gonna be
2.
one after
So
this.
then you get back in the thing, you go back, you do it again. It's like let's just go.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But it's weird that they're making those changes for ranked.
Or ranked.
Yeah. Which I mean, the King of the Hill changes is going to be across the board in ranked and in public matches. I wish that the demolition changes was all across the board. I wish that we could get away from the 1st to 6th and go back to the 1st to 7, because that was the sweet spot. They never should have. They never should have steered away from that, but they did. It is what it is. So that is all of the Neochrome update. I'm pretty excited. It will be coming out soon. I think the last time that I looked at the Battle Pass screen in the game, it said that there was 12 days left. That was a couple of days ago. So we're looking at this probably coming out around the same time frame that this actual episode is going to be released. So we're definitely going to be on there trying everything out and giving our feedback on it per usual.
Can't wait.
Yeah, for sure, right? So next up, we have the 2022 support system update. Rogues. The team has been working diligently over the past few months to ensure our support process is effective and efficient as possible for our players. We wanted to take some time today to fill you in on some of the upcoming changes to our support ticketing system. On January the 19th, we will be migrating all present and incoming tickets to an entirely new system. This new system will allow us to better sort and organize incoming tickets and to take care of them more quickly. The ticket form at highriskstudios.com/support will also be revamped to allow players to better categorize their issues, allowing the support team to address them more clearly. More complicated issues such as GDPR requests will also be able to be submitted directly through this new form. To set expectations, there may very well be some delay in turnaround time for newly created tickets for a week or so due to the transition in systems. The team will be doing their best to make this transition as smooth as possible and to answer incoming tickets as promptly as we can. Thank you so much for your patience and understanding during this time, and we'll continue to make even more strides towards improvement of the support process over the coming months. So this support system, like I've submitted high-res support tickets before, right? This, from what I understand, isn't the in-game ticketing system for like reports and stuff. This is specifically for account-based problems, right? Yeah.
Like if you get banned and
you
don't know why, which has happened recently to a lot of people.
Yeah. So if you get banned, if you can't log in for whatever reason, if you purchase like crystals or rogue bucks or anything through, I think, gems, and you don't actually get the currency, then you can email them. Like, I think what this comes down to is like more and more people
separate it.
Well, not only separate it, but people are working from home more. And it feels like that even when all of this nonsense with our current pandemic is over with, I feel like that a lot of these people, they're not going to go back to the office. There's no reason. They can do it from home.
Yeah, got internet.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can go here and file a support ticket for, remember when they had the big update and they were doing the streaming on Twitch?
Yes.
You remember that? So I never got my skin.
I
my
never got
candy
them.
apple red skin, and
I
it
never-
says on Twitch that I got it, but I never received it in game, so I can report that here.
Yes, yeah.
I will be doing that.
Yeah, and I never received mine either, so I'll probably be submitting a support ticket as well, because they were giving away the candy apple red and the account booster, and I never received either.
Never
one
got
of
it,
them.
and that was a long time ago.
Yeah, right. So, all right, next up. So this is a post here by our community manager, and this is 2 different posts that we're going to kind of go over here. So she posted this on her own personal account. Here we go again with this shit. So she said hashtag Rogue Company glimpse update known issues update for Friday 121. Hitching on platforms is being fixed in the next update. If this is happening to you and you're on PC, please send me crash logs plus match IDs. And then she has a picture here of how to actually go into the game settings in the launcher and actually give additional command lines so that you can get the information from the crash logs.
The logs.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So of course, also with this comes the another update that they ran an additional matchmaking test over the week of the 21st. And they're actually
Google.
Yes, okay. So they're doing matchmaking tests again. And according to the community manager on a post, and I would have to track it down, I was looking for it earlier, and it might have been deleted by now. But just so everyone's aware, when they said that they were going to put the matchmaking changes into the game, they didn't put the matchmaking changes into the game, according to the community manager. They haven't done anything with the matchmaking system at all. And they did not convey that information to anyone. This was a comment to a comment to a comment on Twitter. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
Personal
exactly.
Twitter.
Yeah, from a personal Twitter.
Not the main account.
Yeah. So they did do some matchmaking tests with this new open match Google-based matchmaking system. We don't know if it's going to work. It's probably not. But what we're here for is the hitching issue, because there's another post here that actually has a video of said problem, and it shows what is actually happening whenever you're playing the game. Now, as you can see from what we're looking at here, whenever you down someone, whenever it gives you the notification, whenever it pops up,
noise.
Yeah. So this is something that's been happening in the game for me since Ranked was released.
Well, dude, it never happened in the shooting range. Not like it does now.
No, not like it does in this
not
video.
Like it is. Every person you down now, there's a delay. When they go down, there's I'm like, is my game crashing? Oh, I'm back. I do another one. Damn, what's happening? It almost makes you sick to
and
what's wrong with my game?
And that happens in matches. And that's been happening in matches for a very long time. And it can't be hardware related.
No. Well, dude, my computer's different than yours.
Exactly. Why are we having the same
yours
problem?
Is even better.
Well, and that's my
yours
thing.
Shouldn't be doing it.
Like, if you looked at my computer specs, I would have what you would consider as a high-end PC.
Top of the line.
Yes.
Current fucking hardware.
Yeah. And
should run anything.
Yeah. And here we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's really bad now, dude. I noticed it in the shooting range, and it's never been that bad.
Yeah, I know, right? It's
just
insane.
In the shooting range, and I'm like, I'm alone. This isn't a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it should not be happening. It shouldn't be happening. And it's been happening, like I said, for a very long time. And like she said in the Fireside chat, if she doesn't know about it, then they can't try to fix those changes, because nobody gave her a Word document that said, hey, these are the active changes in the in the game period. You know what I mean? So what really kind of crawls all over me is the fact that she posted both of these, but she did not put anywhere on anything how to actually get this information to her, right?
Yeah.
So, of course, on the original post, which was dated for January the 21st, I said, hey, I've got the crash logs. I've got the match IDs, the end screen, the post-match screen capped.
You were taking screenshots.
Yeah. Where do I need to send them to? Nothing. Don't get any information back. She posted the video here on January the 24th, and I said, hey, where do we need to submit all this stuff to? I've zipped the log files that you've asked for. I went into my Epix game, and I put the additional command lines in there.
I'm trying to help.
Yeah, specifically for all this, because I've been having this issue legitimately since Ranked was released. That was like season 1. We're on season 5 almost, you know? So what are we doing?
His music plays.
Year 2, season 5.
Yeah. She finally responded and said that all of this can be submitted through this Google Forms document. And this will be in the description down below. And I'm actually going to test this Google Docs bug submission form against the last one that they came out, because if it's the same as the last one, but they went in and updated it, then I'm just going to put it in the description of every single one of the videos that I upload from this point going forward. Because
remember, it wouldn't let you upload the logs that were zipped, because they have to be zipped. There's a lot of them.
Yes. So whenever you go to this Google Forms, it of course asks for your in-game name, your platform, region, the game mode that it happened, what the bug, how it happened, the match ID, like all this information. At the bottom, you can attach files, screenshots, or videos. You can't submit the zipped logs to this.
Which is what you were told to do.
Exactly. And my thing is like, I've messaged her on Discord before and she's never responded. Why should I send her these logs? First of all, why is she accepting zipped fucking things to begin with? Because someone is going to fucking hack her shit. Right?
It's not smart.
It's not smart at all.
You can't see what's inside of that, and it's not smart.
They should have set up a portal where you can actually go and submit these, and you can open them through a browser and see what's actually inside of it. That way that it can be properly checked without actually disrupting. And I guarantee you they backpedaled on this log stuff. Whenever they saw her post this, I bet they were like, you don't want to do that.
They're because, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
You will get all the viruses.
Yeah.
And they'll find out where you live.
Yeah, exactly. So they're saying, she said on the 21st that the hitching on platforms is being fixed in the next update, but they need all this information.
Every night we played, dude, at the end of the night, you were like, I got to submit my logs.
Yeah, exactly.
Every game tonight that it happened in, which was every game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So what are the odds of this actually being fixed when the next update comes out?
I mean, you can't submit the form.
Yeah. All I can
screenshot.
Yeah.
But they need the logs to see why. Why did it do that?
Exactly.
Without the logs, the screenshot's useless.
Well, whenever I go over here, because on my desktop, I created a shortcut to the logs folder that they want us to zip. Okay. And I'm looking at the logs right here this was from 126, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's 17 kilobytes. I know that whenever you play
small files,
but whenever you play a lot of matches, then it's going to accumulate very quickly, which makes sense for you to zip them. But like, why is there not a way that they can update the game that has a session log from the time you log in until?
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. Why has it got to be like every game?
Exactly.
Like this was, I logged in at this time, played till this time. Here's the session.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all you need.
Exactly. And they
Here's the screenshots with the match ID for every game.
Yeah. Compare. Like,
did my part.
It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense that the way they do things, but I really hope that this hitching issue gets addressed. I hope that the aim assist issue gets addressed very quickly. I know that they're having to rebuild it from the ground up because the team left. Thank you, Zerger. Shout out. But I hope that a lot of this, because like the Project Saint stuff, love it. I love the things that they're adding into the game. None of that matters if the game's not going to run good.
It runs like shit.
Exactly.
In the shooting range.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Like, I don't know, man.
I thought my game was breaking. I was like, maybe I need to back out and verify my files.
Right, yeah.
And then you were like, oh, it's hitching. And I'm like, hitching? What's that?
Yeah, I'll send you the link. Check this out.
Lag?
Yeah.
I like how they tried to A lot of people will read that. They'll be like, well, the game's been hitching. And they're like, I haven't had that problem, but I've got stutters.
It's not a fucking trailer. Okay. You know what I mean? You can't just fucking put it on a ball hitch and roll with it, you know?
Yep.
So, last up here, before we transition into the community section, this was a tweet by Stuart Chisholm. So, Stewie here is the CEO of Hi-Res. And this is what he tweeted out. And this is going to transition pretty well into the community section. He said, I'm biased, but I think folks are sleeping on At Rogue Company. More than 26 million people have played it since launch. Millions play it monthly. Hundreds of thousands daily. The team is cranking out great releases on a regular cadence. Multi-platform free-to-play is a force multiplier.
I forgot about that.
So, according to the CEO of Hi-Res, there's been more than 26 million people download this game and play one match. Millions of people play it monthly, and hundreds of thousands of people play this game daily. Just release the player count.
Yeah, because when he's like millions of people play it monthly, it's like, you mean just the same people?
Yeah, right.
Because
Yeah.
before it was 22 million. Remember when it was the big 22 million?
Yeah.
Or 23, whatever. Now we've gone up to 26. Great.
Yeah.
Now, has he played the game? Because he may know why if he ever plays it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I have no clue. But I thought this was a very interesting tweet, and it was very out of nowhere. Like, it legitimately came out of left field, you know? And if hundreds of thousands of people are playing this game daily, then that begs to ask the question as to why are they putting ads into the game? Why are they making some of these decisions that they're making over there? I mean, if you have, let's just say that you have a daily player base of 100,000 people. If you have 25% of those people that are actually purchasing skins, like actively purchasing a lot of stuff, right? And
well,
if you
know, people that are using their main account.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
You know.
Well, it'll be about 25% of people then.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, right? So if you've got, all right, 25% of 100,000 is what, 25,000?
Well, I heard a number from a content creator that said, you mean all 20,000?
Yeah.
I was like, I bet that's the number.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So 25% of 100,000, 25,000. Let's say that they're spending on average $10 a week, right? I mean, that's a lot of money, right?
A lot of money.
All right, let's see what we got here.
You know, it doesn't matter how much money it is. Like, you have to put the money in the right place.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And I did, like, Green Boy came into the chat one night and he said that they are actively hiring at all of the subsets of Hi-Res.
It was on the in game. It said now hiring down the corner on the little thing.
Yeah.
Bottom right.
So I'm hoping that they're actually, because if 25% of 100,000 people spending $10, you're making $250,000 a week.
Pretty good money a week. For a week, that's...
Yeah, I mean, that's really good, right? So you're making, what, $1 million a month?
Hey.
I mean, so you're making $12 million a year?
You have plenty of money to pay people to fix things.
For one of the 4 games that you have? It's not bad, you know? So it's very odd. It's very out of left field that Mr. Chisholm here, Stewie, sent this tweet out. I'm not really sure what he was trying to accomplish by putting this out. Yeah, I'm not sure. And it's good to know that we actually have proof from the CEO of currently what the stats that he's being fed are. So there's that. Because it could be more, it could be less. They could be just telling him that this is the number.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
So there's that. All right, guys. So with that last topic, we are going to jump into the community section of the unofficial Rogue Company podcast Broguecast. If you want to contribute to the community section in any way whatsoever, please be sure to hit us up on Discord. The link is in the description down below. There is a tab called Broguecast Contributions, which we have one this week. So if you want to get involved, that is one way to do so. You can tweet us at Broguecast, or you can shoot us an email, broguecast@gmail.com. So this first little nugget of truth we have here was posted by Venom X Matrix. Whoa. Some fans, in quotation marks, on this sub are furious that Rogue Company is doing well with millions of monthly players. So, of course, this comes off of the topic that we just covered with Stewie over there tweeting out about, how many people play it and everything. And this is what they had to say about it. I was looking at the other thread where someone posted a tweet from the high-risk CEO stating what many people here already knew. Rogue is more than fine and going quite well, especially on console with millions of monthly players. And they put a link to the tweet here. The reaction from some of the fans here are hilarious. People are trying to fight back the possibility that the game that they spent hundreds of hours on is remotely doing well, and justify their passive, aggressive, and depressing comments with the fact that they love the game, quote unquote. If you really loved a game, you would not wish for it to die. Any true, real fan of this game would be celebrating the fact that a product that they really enjoy is doing well and will continue to exist and improve for years to come. Sometimes small communities within a game's bigger community can be its biggest enemy. Eventually, you will have to accept that this game is much bigger than this small fraction of the community, and you like it or not, millions are loving the game. Get over it. It's not Rogue's fault if your KD sucks or you lose most matches. Also, stop with the cringe Steam chart numbers if you cannot read them properly. Go to your PlayStation and check the free-to-play section. The game is literally number 7 and most downloaded, doing better than Warframe, and high ranking and best selling as well when it comes to cosmetics. On Epic, this is the 10th most popular game on the platform. Enough with your fabricated nobody is playing this posts, please.
Hey man, the only people I've heard say I wish the game would die were content creators that are no longer content creators that don't play the game anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now those people said that shit.
Yeah.
I don't want it to die. I've spent a lot of money on it, and I enjoy playing it.
Yeah. Well,
how you guys feel? I
mean, the podcast stems from a love of the game itself, right?
I would not waste every other Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Could be playing a game.
Yeah, for sure. I think Reddit, of course, is naturally, because of the way that it is naturally going to breed toxicity, right?
Of course.
And of course, this is where this was posted from. It was from the Rogue Company Reddit page over there. And I feel like because of the issues with the game that haven't been resolved or they don't know how to resolve, a lot of people default to the fact that they feel like the game is dying. And then a lot of people come into people's streams or YouTube videos or Twitter posts or anything like that and basically ask or say or imply that the game is dying because they played it at one point in time, they didn't enjoy it, or they got frustrated by everything that was going on and they uninstalled it or deleted it. And you see that with a lot of people that post stuff on Twitter or on social media, period, about things that could be improved in the game to make it an overall better experience. I don't think that we've ever said one time that this game was dying on the podcast.
I would be sad if this game just went the way of Paladins.
And Paladins is still doing very well, like for itself. Like
it's
player
still up and running.
Yeah, the player base has dropped off a little bit, but that's inevitably going to happen. The same thing happened to Warzone whenever they transitioned from Verdansk to Caldera, right?
It did.
So, it's inevitable for any game. It's going to be difficult to retain a massive player base. That's just the facts.
The real ones are going to stick around. The real ones will stick around.
Exactly.
Right.
The ride or dies.
Yeah. People that are truly devoted.
Yeah. And it's kind of sad, like that people that really enjoy playing the game are also the same ones that are out there with the torches and the pitchforks saying that the game is dying. It's like, but you're playing the game. You're a very active player in the game, and the only reason that you're saying that the game is dying is because they don't know how to fix the matchmaking. They don't know how to fix the aim assist. They don't know how to make ranked a better experience. They're starting to try to figure that stuff out now, which could be considered too little, too late. But at least they're putting forth an effort for it, right?
In the defense of the community manager, she's doing
what she
more.
can.
I mean, I didn't even know we had one before. I don't, like at least she's trying.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely needs to get a
I
fire.
don't think it's a little too late, man. And when he's like, "There's millions of monthly players," I still would like to see the numbers on that.
Yeah.
I don't know about millions.
Not millions, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised.
I don't know
if it
about
was in the
that.
100,000.
Yeah.
Well, dude, if there was millions, you would think there would be more people watching it on Twitch.
You'd think that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to knock the CEO because.
Well, also at the same time, I feel like that, comparatively, if we're going to compare Rogue Company to other very popular games that are on Twitch right now,
company.
Well, there's not that catching factor that comes in with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Courage actually tweeted something out earlier where he was like, between Warzone, Apex, and Fortnite, it's got 200,000 people watching it. Between Valorant and CS:GO, there's 200,000 people watching it. For Halo and a couple of other quote unquote arena shooters, you've got 15,000 people watching that stuff. Like, the game serves a niche crowd, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Courage's tweet said that, like, the arena shooters are as far as viewer count is dying. Now, whenever you look at the statistics specifically for Halo, there's been millions and millions and millions of people that have played and are continuing to play that game. They're just not interested in watching people play that game.
Of course. There's a lot of people that play this that don't watch people play it. Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel like there's not that catch, there's not that draw. From a streaming or content creator standpoint, as someone that is a content creator and is someone that recently got into streaming, you see the numbers and you see them fluctuate up and down, but it doesn't have that, like when you watch someone play Warzone, you want to see how far they can last before they die.
That's usually when they die, people click off.
They leave. Yeah, immediately. They don't. Yeah.
A big problem with the YouTube videos. That's why a lot of times you'll just see in the YouTube videos, like they'll be running along, open a door, it cuts into another scene. They'll cut out the death.
Yeah, exactly.
Add more gameplay in, because as soon as they die, it's like, no, dude, you fucking.
Nobody cares. Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't have that pull factor, and I think that they could definitely do some things to help try to increase some of that stuff. And I think that the creator program is definitely a step somewhat in the right direction. But I think, like, there's a very underutilized tool that exists for Twitch streamers specifically, to where, like, Back 4 Blood did this, and they're still currently doing it. The game has Twitch integration, right? So so while you're playing Back 4 Blood on Twitch and you have the Twitch integrations cut on, then someone can click somewhere on that stream and see the cards that you've bought. You know what I mean? The cards.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So, and I think it works not only for, like, the campaign runs, but also for the swarm mode. And I think that if they had a way to integrate something like that into Twitch and also give drops away and actually have the drops work. Yeah. I think that would incentivize people to watch it, even if it's just someone that's just kind of AFK watching it just to get the stuff that they need, for that. I think that it could help. It would definitely help viewer count.
Hey, still boosting numbers.
Yeah. And we've seen the Twitch charts fluctuate. We saw the Twitch charts whenever the closed beta released and you had a lot of the streamers. It was huge, and then it kind of fell off. And then they'll do things from time to time and it'll fluctuate up and down. I think if they would go in there and they would have someone constantly running on that Rogue Company channel. If they would
remember that Knockout City, what was the other game? Splitgate.
Yeah, Splitgate.
Yeah.
They blew up just like, whoa, it was so big all of a sudden, it just
Crazy.
dropped off like nobody gives a
Non-existent.
fuck.
Yeah.
Rogue Company people still give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
They're still here. They're still. It's not dropping off like.
Yeah. I mean, look at
these other games that were supposed to like. This is going to change everything.
Yeah, I mean, look at Battlefield.
Even the people that were going out to play in tournament, like leaving Rogue Company. Like, all right, guys, I'm leaving Rogue Company and going over to these games. Come back, crawling back. Like,
yeah. I think that the last time I looked at Splitgate's concurrent viewers, it was like 180.
Yeah.
I mean, if Rogue Company's getting 800 concurrent viewers, that's way better than 180.
It's usually pushing 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but next up here, we have a post by, I'm guessing, Mercy 421. Frames dropping needs to be addressed, and in brackets PC. Since the Glimpse update, the shooting range has been dropping frames after every kill. In regular matches, I've dropped as much as 90 frames, which manifests in a very jarring play experience. I ran God of War on Ultra with RTX on and didn't stutter once, but I can't run this game on all low without dropping massive frames.
Yeah.
The game is extremely unstable at the moment, and this can't wait for Project Saint. I can't get into a fair gunfight because the game just doesn't run well. So, of course, this goes back to the hitching issues. I just thought it was very interesting that this individual ran God of War on Ultra with the RTX shit on. Yeah. And like Rogue Company can't be stable enough for you to run it on all low settings and not get the hitching issues.
My PC specs kill their minimum, even their like what they recommend.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm way over that. You're way over that.
Yeah.
The frame drops. I'll be in the plane and it's just going up and down. I have it turned on so I can see.
Yeah.
Because I want to know what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's just going up and down. And then when you jump out of the plane, holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
It's like I'm trying to load my game and the rest of you. Like,
yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get on the ground, it's like you get away from everybody. It's like, oh, it finally leveled out at 150.
But once grenades and explosives.
What good does it do you to unlock it?
Exactly, right.
Because they have a thing where you could go in there and unlock your frames, but it just yo-yos.
Yeah.
Up and down, and that's not good when you get in a gunfight, man.
No, it really fucks you up big time.
I even thought about going in there, and I was like, I'm just going to cap it at 60 because I'd rather it just stay.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Instead of the up and down. But I think even if I did that, man.
Yeah, I mean, before I unlocked frames, it would hard stop at 150. Yeah. And with the maps, like the maps that have been introduced recently, like Palace Wanted, Hollows, I'm not sure about Glacier because it's been a while, but as soon as you jump out of that plane, like my frames go
80,
from
70.
Yeah, 250, sometimes down to 40.
Yeah.
And then once you land, it'll go back up and it'll kind of even out. But once you start having bullets and all this other stuff being deployed onto the playfield, then it starts fluctuating like crazy.
Well, I'll never forget, man, when I started playing Switchblade a lot, like every time I would shoot that fucking RPG, you were like, God damn. Like,
yeah, right.
And of course it's doing it on my screen, but I'm standing still.
Yeah.
I'm shooting an RPG, but you're like, and I'm like, I'm sorry I had to do it. You know, like, well, I had to apologize every time I used my ult because.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be like that. It was worse for.
The Deem ult?
Yeah, it was worse for Vi.
The Vi poison,
Yeah, that was the worst, man.
It's almost like it just ran the frames in the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're not even in the poison. It was just other people, just it being on the map.
Yeah, it would just destroy everything. Next up, we have a post here from Dr. Feels Good. Because he's the one they call Dr. Feel Good.
Yeah.
He's the one that makes you feel all right. Right? So, blocking people in Rogue Company. Currently, yeah, right. Blocking currently only blocks invites, which was a welcome addition. But how about expanding that to be able to block people that we don't ever want to play with or against ever again for whatever reason, be it hacking, toxic behavior, etc., etc. It might just cut down on people leaving as well, as they will then have the tools to deal with toxicity and hackers and just block them. I mean, really block them and not just invites. I know some just leave if they see known hackers / toxic people in the game when there is nothing else you can do about it. Now, this is something that we've talked about quite a bit, and other content creators would actually say that this would be very detrimental to the game.
It.
Yeah. But if we have millions of people playing the game monthly,
shouldn't be a problem then.
It shouldn't be an issue. And I agree with Dr. Feelsgood here, because if we play against someone that is very suspicious, right? They should integrate the blocking feature into the reporting feature, right? So,
dude, I'm not blocking you because you're better than me.
No.
I'm blocking you because you're sus as fuck.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And they're not doing anything about it.
Yeah. And I think that if they incorporated the blocking feature into the report feature and kind of made it one cohesive experience, because like at the end of the game, if we're playing against someone, or even if we're playing with someone that was just feeding like crazy, that was just being completely toxic, being assholes, that was hacking or very suspect, you should be able to go in there and you should be able to hit the block button. And once you hit the block button, it should pull up the report screen, and it's like, why do you want to block this person? Is it for toxicity? Harassment. Yeah. Is it for harassment? Is it for hacking? Is it for cheating? Is it for any of this stuff? And you should be able to go in there and you should be able to type in, exactly what was going on in that game and give a description of everything right then and there. And that should prioritize the review system.
Oh yeah. This person has been blocked 180 times.
Yeah, what's going on with them?
And 90% of those people think he's hacking. So you might want to review that account.
Exactly. And then I think that if they review all of that information and they say, okay, this person wasn't hacking, or let's say that this person doesn't have any other reports for being toxic or anything like that. They review the footage. They see that it was a one-off occurrence or something like that happened. Then you should still have the block in place to where they can't communicate with you or contact you whatsoever. But they should basically do a soft unblock, right?
Yeah.
And notify you, like, look, this person is blocked. They can't communicate with you whatsoever, but they did not violate any things that you actually blocked them for. So we're going to open it back up for you to play with or against this person in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
that sounds good.
I know it would take a lot of work to be able to do something like that, but I think that you would be able to fast track a lot of these issues that are going on,
You can add that to that player first mentality.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Next up, we have a post by Crying One, mouse and keyboard support on consoles. I've been searching it up, but can only find results from over a year ago saying they've disabled it until they can make it a full keyboard and mouse experience. Has anyone seen or heard any more recent news about if it's ever coming back? So I know that whenever the game launched, they had mouse and keyboard support for console, and they did disable that, which, I mean, there's ways around that, of course, but
even for the Xbox?
Yeah. There's ways around that. You can get stuff.
Xbox will let you play any game.
Yeah,
mouse and keyboard if it supports it.
Right. So, and I think that like it would be nice, especially whenever you've got people that are playing on PC on controller, and the developers are telling the community manager that she's handicapping herself by playing on mouse and keyboard. You know what I mean? It should be open for everybody to play on whatever input method that they want to. It shouldn't be that hard. I
wonder if they can't control the aim assist. Like if they're on console, aim assist is automatically on. If you have mouse and keyboard in there, it doesn't know.
Maybe.
I wouldn't put it past this,
Well, and if
they turned it off,
and if that
remember the guys were doing the thing where they would queue,
and then log into their PC
and then switch to another computer.
Yeah,
and then have aim assist with their mouse and keyboard, which is just crazy.
Yeah, I know. So I mean, it's one of those situations where like just make it happen. And if they have to go in and separate everything out like COD does, because like whenever you go into COD right now,
Different menus,
yeah, you have to go in there and tick whether you're playing on console or whether you're playing with controller or mouse and keyboard. Once you do that, and then you load into a game and you're playing on controller, and let's say you're like, oh, fuck this, I want to play on mouse and keyboard, you have to leave the game. You have to go into the settings, leave the game, and change the settings back to mouse and keyboard, and then queue into a match. So you see what I mean? Like they could definitely do something like that and allow people to have these options that they want. And I think that would be a good thing for the game,
well,
because
man, I think if you're allowed to use a controller on the computer, with better frames, higher fucking resolution, higher hertz, then why not allow them to use mouse and keyboard?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you have people doing that.
Yeah, and it seems like the majority of the people that are actually playing the game with the controller that are having aim assist issues are people that are playing on console.
It does.
So there's a disconnect somewhere. And I don't know what it is. I don't have the time or money to try to figure it out.
Chisholm.
Yeah, for sure, right? Yeah. Like Zerger, like he's like putting more work in than anybody on this shit.
He's on the PS5. He even went out and bought a PS5.
Yeah, to try to help with the aim assist issue, and it's still not working for him.
And they're just like, the team left.
I know,
what kind of answer is that?
I mean, at least it's the truth.
So, are you going to hire a new team? Or no, they just left. But did they leave, or because they have them sectioned off?
Yeah.
Or are they just working on another game there?
Yeah. I mean, they've got a new game coming out, so. But next up here, we have a post by Low Res Cunts. And this was a pretty interesting post here. Just King of the Hill things. Number one, how long do we have to suffer through Battlezone? That quote unquote limited time mode is now active for over a month. No? I mean, I agree. I want dodgeball.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Or Extraction.
Yeah, that would be great.
God, I would love a good game of Extraction right now.
Love it.
Yeah.
Just right now.
Yeah. Number two, when we get King of the Hill in ranked, it should also become a permanent mode like normal demolition. I agree with that 1,000%.
I mean, if you're going to put it in ranked,
I mean, why would
it's not a limited time mode, dude, if it's in your
I mean, if you're going to practice, it needs to be a all-time mode, so that way you can practice, because that's going to be the main game mode you play.
Just imagine this. A limited time mode, they remove King of the Hill from the limited time mode, but it's still in ranked.
Yeah. It's like, what?
You prepare for it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. And so it should be, they should, in my opinion, and this is just purely my opinion, they should get rid of 6v6 team deathmatch or add 4v4 King of the Hill into the permanent modes. And if they wanted to keep 6v6 team deathmatch, that would be fine. But
they should, if you figure out how to let me queue with 6 people.
Yeah.
And then put it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
I can't even queue with, we got more than fucking 3 friends.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? When we heard that mode was coming, it was like, oh, the whole crew can get on.
Yeah.
Nope.
For number 3, Low Res Cunt said here, King of the Hill should get its own ranked queue. This is what I will do. You make King of the Hill ranked, but not permanent casual. I will play ranked just to get King of the Hill, and will try to lose fast in demolition when I get it. But how many people will do the same? Yes, so, you know.
So he's talking about what we said earlier.
Exactly.
When he gets in demo, lose fast.
Yeah, so that they can get
into rank, level up.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're going to be
50-50, right?
Yeah, you're going to be gaining more RP by winning a King of the Hill match than you're going to lose in a demolition match.
Dude, that's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Because he's already figured it out. He's like, hey, we'll just...
All right, last up here we have this was actually a Broguecast contribution. So, like I said in the beginning, if you want to contribute, there's very, very, very many different ways to do that. They're all in the description. But this was posted by IzzyX. He frequents the comment sections and also some of the streams. Question for Broguecast: why do y'all think Hi-Rez is just now getting on top of all the bugs and problems with the game with Project Saint? Don't y'all think they should have been fixing bugs and focusing on the quality of life of the game? I guess all along. So,
I mean, from the very beginning,
yeah.
there was never a point that we didn't feel that they shouldn't have been doing any of that.
Dude, that first year we were playing the game, I don't remember seeing the community manager.
No.
I would see people tweet him every now and then and be like, "Yo, somebody was cheating."
Yeah.
But he wasn't doing Q&As. He wasn't like he was just I don't know.
Yeah,
We didn't know.
Well, and I think that like that they've been focusing on bugs for a while, and they made a major push the last couple of months to try to
250.
Yeah. So, and the reason why I think that Project Saint and the quality of life stuff is happening is because, number one, there was no one to filter that information and give it to the team, right? Now we have a community manager. Now they can take all of that input from the community and filter it and give it to the people over at First Watch Games as potential changes for the game, right? Also think that like there's been enough of an outpour and an outcry of the issues with
everyone.
Yeah, exactly. So people have issues with the game and nothing seems to be done about it. So if you look at the major ones, you've got aim assist, you've got matchmaking, you've got the ranked experience, you have a lot of these different things. They can't like fix a lot of these problems quickly at all.
No.
But they can go in there and make UI changes very quickly and very easily. They can go in there and put the armor bar above the health bar to give it more of a recognizable presence in the game.
Add like a / effect to the bar, so it looks like it's
yeah. So I think those are quick, easy little things that they can actually go in and control right now. A ton of this stuff is stuff that they're just not going to be able to fix very quickly whatsoever. If they're going to have to rebuild aim assist, that's going to take months of work from one team.
They're going to need test servers on console, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't go off a PC for that.
No, not at all.
You can't. You have more frames. It goes over 60.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of what I think. I think that Project Saint, and this is going to sound bad, and it does, and I don't mean it the way that it's going to sound, but Project Saint is a pacifier.
Oh.
More or less, right?
Well, candy.
Yeah, it's like, it's good that we're getting these quality of life changes. It's good that they're making everything a little bit easier for us, for veterans and new players coming into the game. But the Project Saint stuff is not all the changes that we've seen so far. We could live without.
Yeah.
I mean, we could absolutely.
My
live
UI
without.
doesn't have to look like that.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that a lot of the bugs and a lot of the issues that they're having comes down to server stability. So it's one of those trade-off things. Do we focus on trying to do the server stability and get better servers, or do we, put this offhand gadget slide at the bottom so that people have something shiny to look at for a little while?
Fast boat. Now, that may be for better servers. That might be why the ads are coming in. You never know. It'd be nice if they just tell you that. It's like, hey, if you guys watch these ads, we can afford better servers. It's like, I'll watch them all.
Oh yeah, I would definitely come on for that. All. Yeah, for sure.
But dude, like what we're looking at now, like we're in year 2, season 5. Now you got your core audience.
Yeah.
We're still here. Everyone's still here from before. And they're all like, well, fix this, fix that, fix this. Like the new people come in, they're like, what? They don't know.
Yeah, I know.
They just think that's the way the game works.
Yeah.
They're still trying to figure it out. But I think the reason why they have to like try to squash the bugs now is because like we've all been here.
Yeah. Well,
from
and
the beginning, and it's like all this shit is still here.
I think that like one of the previous streams that I did is a very, very clear cut definition of that, because towards the end of one of the streams, it was basically me and Adam talking to chat, and one person who is now recently a content creator for Rogue Company, his name is Decoy. I'll put a link to his stuff in the description down below. But basically, he was like, I don't see a lot of the issues that you guys see. And it's like, yeah, but you played the game for like a couple of months, then you quit playing it, and now you're coming back to the game.
Yeah.
You haven't been there for all the tomfoolery that we've had to deal with. Yeah. Yeah. You haven't seen all the updates. You haven't been through all the TTK changes. You haven't dealt with all of the bugs.
This game's like a yo-yo.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just up and down, up and down. Like,
yeah. And if you have 100,000 people playing a week, like the example that we used earlier, then you're going to get like 0.5% of those people are the ones that are actually complaining about the issues with the game. Right?
Yeah.
If not less than that. Because if you go to the Reddit page, there's 150 people active on the Reddit page. And that's
out
about
of what, over 100,000? Almost 100,000?
Yeah, it was like the last time I looked, maybe it was like 60 or 80,000 people.
Yeah, it's pushing 100K.
Yeah.
And you got 150 active.
Yeah. Same thing with Twitter. You see people, the same people commenting and posting stuff over on the Twitter page. Your Rogue Company Twitter account has
200K.
Yeah, 200K, but you see the same people over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I feel like for the 99.5% of the people that are playing the game, they're like, oh, something new, something shiny.
Yeah. New battle pass.
Yeah, exactly.
Grind it out, get it done.
Yeah. But that's why I think that they're just now focusing it. I think that they finally recognize the fact that like you've already
they have to.
Yeah, you've had several content creators and streamers already leave the game. You've already had people leave the game in droves. Every time that you make a significant change, if you don't have something that is kind of spearheading the push and making something clear cut and very precise, then it's just going to continue to bleed players.
I think a lot of it came from the new community manager, dude. Like, she started reading what's getting sent in, and she's like, God damn.
Yeah, I know.
Like, there's a lot going on here. Like, did we not work on this before?
Yeah, yeah. And she's doing the best that she can. I mean, at the end of the day, she's doing the best that she can. Information can be conveyed better. But
dude, there is a communication breakdown between her, the company, like...
Yeah.
Like when she was saying the thing where she was like, they were like, it was in that fireside chat. They were like, she's like, well, is this going to be in the patch notes? And they're like, maybe, we don't know. And it's like, well, it's going up in like 2 hours. So
yeah, right.
Is it or is it not? Is it yet? You know?
Yeah. So, and there's also a separation, communication breakdown between the community manager and the community itself, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you're posting a lot of this information from personal account. Probably shouldn't do that whenever you have a company account that you can use for the game. And then also you're going to just half-ass put the information out there. It's like, go do this and add these additional command lines to your game, but we're not going to tell you where to submit it. We're not going to tell you how to get that information to us, but we need that information. You're just going to have to figure out how to get it to us. What?
I mean, dude, I'll be happy to go in there and add the command line.
Yeah.
If it'll help.
Yeah.
But I have to be able to send it.
Yeah.
And after seeing what you went through, it's like, well, you can't even send it. It's
yeah, I know, right?
Like,
yeah,
running in circles.
So yeah, that's all that I have for the community section of the Broguecast. If you want to contribute to the community section in any way whatsoever, there's a link in the description down below for the Discord page. There is a tab for Broguecast contributions, just like this last post that we covered. There's also a link to the Gmail and also the Broguecast Twitter @Broguecast. So if you have anything that you want to submit to the podcast, please do that there. So this is episode number 17 of the unofficial Rogue Company podcast. I'm here with Co Reed.
Here with Dirt Lord.
I'm here with Garbo.
And I'm here with Griffin.
And thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for leaving comments, leaving feedback, and please be on the lookout for the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys.